publish during this time period, you can check the box that you want to be considered for the developer awards, and we'll have a 500,000 prize pool, and with the winners announced early next year. Next. And that's it. If you have any questions, I know we don't have time. You can catch me, and I'll be here all night. Those are the key links. And again, I encourage you to check it out. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's my handle. So, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Dario. That's there you go. Fantastic. Excited about Viport too, and yeah, I didn't know about some of those as well, some of those tools, so I'll be passing that on to my engineering team as well. I'll let them know. Next up, we have Robert Murky, who's Director of Product at Cognitive VR. He's going to be discussing some of the things that they're up to. So let's give a warm welcome to Robert. And before that, hold on. I noticed a few of you have been taking pictures of slides and being very dutiful about that. However, you don't need to, because the slides will be available through SVVR. We'll be publishing those slides. So you don't have to feel desperate to take a picture of each and every slide. I want to make sure to put that reminder out there. All right, let's give a warm welcome to Robert. Come on in.
Hello? So the slide comes up, so it makes no sense.
Anybody got a joke? Oh, there we go.
Nice to see my fonts got saved. I unironically downloaded Adobe Acrobat today. Yeah, I've never done that before, so it's kind of cool. All right. Cool, yeah, so my name is Robert Murky. I'm Director of Product here at Cognitive VR. We do analytics-backed developer tools for VR, and what that means I will explain to you in the next 10 minutes. But essentially, what happens when the world kind of went from a 2D screen to a true 3D environment, you lost the ability to direct people. You can't force someone to look somewhere in VR, otherwise you get sick. So that's really cool for immersion, but all of a sudden you kind of you place your users into this wonderful virtual world, and then you literally cannot control them, because if they don't have unlimited movement, they kind of puke, and that sucks. So next slide, please. So before I do that, I wanted to talk about a game that I played recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, that kind of really made VR click for me. I mean, Tilt Rush, Job Simulator, those games, sold me on VR, but this is the game with its PS2 graphics and its absolutely atrocious performance that made me play VR for 3 hours and have those really, looks like ski goggle tan. The Google VR logo. So Onward is a game made by one person in Unity. In fact, when you open Onward, you get the Unity Personal Edition welcome. I don't know, I think you've probably played it before.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, basically your game will crash about 30 minutes into it too, so that's kind of funny. But the thing that I found really interesting about Onward was I kind of found, my girlfriend walked into my apartment while I was playing it, and I was doing this. And I was camping a corner in a house with my machine gun. And I was totally immersed in the game. I was completely lost. And then when she walked in, I kind of got, oh no, I'm not doing anything. So I was crying or something. And then the game totally glitched out and I crashed and whatever, right? But it was the most amazing experience. The problem is that developer had no idea, that had happened to me, right? I can write a really mean review on Steam, thumbs down, all the swear words I want, but, ultimately they're not going to really know what happened. So next slide, please. They're going to have these really funny reviews like that, but ultimately they basically have no way of knowing what happened. So next slide, please. Could you scroll down a little bit? So in the traditional media, you kind of have this passively consumed, frame of reference where someone's directing you to do something. Right now, we can crouch in the corner and look like we're crying, because we can do that, and we have to be able to do that as we get sick. So next slide, please. So when Cognitive VR started, we had this idea that to solve this problem, we would just give you like a ton of metrics, right? Show me 5 users that crouched in the corner and what was their FPS, right? And we built those tools. Next slide, please. But ultimately, these crazy queries we were writing and enabling developers to do, like that was kind of a waste of time for them because, oftentimes it's like 1 or 10 people making a game, and they don't have time to run like really custom queries. They don't have a data analyst. So we decided to use that as our base. Next slide, please. Because this is kind of what they were saying to us, right? It's great that we have these metrics, but I don't have time to write, run a query. I just want to see what happened. And I want to see, when someone swears at me on a Steam review or sends me something mean on Twitter, I want to look up what happened to them and like kind of diagnose. Because you can do that on the web, right? You can look back and look at the intercom logs, and you can see, this person crashed or this person couldn't log in. Can't do that in VR until now. So next slide, please. So that's why we added on something called Scene Explorer. And Scene Explorer does just that. It's basically a DVR for your VR experiences for your users. So next slide. What we've done is we've exported your Unity or Unreal Engine and Max Play and CryEngine to come as well, levels to the web. And every single one of our API calls that you make for analytics includes the XYZ coordinate of what happened and where. So in this example, you can see there's me, this is me in VR, exported the level, ran it in our tool, and you can see the heat map of what I was looking at. You can also see those red exclamation marks are when we were throttling my computer to force my FPS to drop, right? So you can see, okay, this game sucks in VR because it's like really, 50 frames per second. And we can show you that in the data query, and we have the backend for that. But this is where it gets really visual, and you can see, okay, this person swore at me on a Steam review. This is why. So next slide, please. This goes beyond just performance testing and debugging and QA. We can also tell you like product marketing, right? So if you make like a Harry Potter versus 50 Shades of Grey test in a kitchen, which that literally is. Next slide, please. This person clearly liked Harry Potter a little more. Again, that was me. So not that I've read the other one. So next slide, please. There is a video file that I think I gave to you. If you could like alt tab to that. Or like if you have
Cool.
So this is our kind of, this supposed to be enemy spying, right? On the bottom middle there, you have the actual game recording, and then on the left and top left, we've got the sort of the recording of my Chrome window of the same time.
I love this door. It's a great door. Okay. Want to bring up one of your teleporting hands and just like teleport around a bit?